Bernardo Osuna alongside former world champions Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, and stellar scribe Mark Kriegel. We had, as expected, a great night from Miguel Berchelt here at the Dignity Park Sports Center. And how could you not? Because Jason Sosa came to fight, and they just gave us a classic Mexico-Puerto Rico duel that, Tim, just does not disappoint.
Absolutely. Sosa came out fast. I think he won the first round without a doubt. But the thing is that Berchelt slowly came on, started throwing his combinations to the head and body, knocked them down, continued to pour on the pressure and the combinations, and got the stoppage. He looked phenomenal tonight. Honestly, I thought he was going to get hit with a big overhand right. Now, I don't even think an overhand right landed against him. Just a straight right hand landed against him. But he took it well, and he came up victorious again, Dre.
We talk a lot in boxing about offense being defense. Berchelt is not a defensive specialist by any means, but his offense allows him to not get hit sometimes when maybe he should because his chin is in the air, maybe his head is out of position. He just has a lot of offensive prowess and the type of angles that he throws his shots with and the power that he lands with. We could hear those shots, Bernardo, Tim, and Mark, ringside to the head and to the body, and those weren't slaps. Those were power punches that were getting in there. Sosa did good until those punches started to land clean, and then all of a sudden he started trying to think about another game plan, and before he knew it, the fight was over.
Yeah. That's what I'll remember about the fight, the sound of those body shots, the thudding quality of them. We've talked about Berchelt's flaws, but you can't punch between punches when the punches don't cease. Sosa came through with his game plan fine. It was to push Berchelt back, and then he got hit with this, and it just stopped. It took everything out of him.
Sosa and Raul Rivas, who deserves a lot of credit for stopping this fight at the appropriate time. They talked about being smarter, being able to dictate the fight to Miguel Berchelt. But simply put, they saw the flaws, but much like everybody else, with the exception of the one man to beat him in 2014, who was Luis Eduardo Flores in Chiapas, they haven't been able to capitalize. And that story continues the same way, Dre, because they couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, well, I talked about this before the fight started. Yeah, we see the flaws. Yeah. But, sir, you got to go through fire to get to that chin. You got to go through fire, that kind of offensive firepower to get to the flaws. A lot of people can't deal with that, man. A lot of people can't make those kind of adjustments and think on the fly and make that second, just strategy change like you're supposed to in the heat of the moment, and then you look up and the fight's over and you're like, man, they told me this dude was flawed and he makes a bunch of mistakes, but how did I get knocked out? I think that's what Sosa's feeling
but it's going to take a really good technical fighter.
Master boxer.
Yeah, master boxer, really good technical fighter to be able to compete with Berchelt.
But also a guy that's physically strong and that can take a shot. You're not just going to be cute with Berchelt.
No, you got to be able to
maybe Jamel Herring.
You're going to have to be able to absorb some punishment.
Who we will see next week.
But why won't they call his name out? Anybody, really.
Well, maybe you have your answer there. Maybe it's not a style that works for Berchelt. See, the thing I love about Berchelt is that you could put him in with anybody. You could put him in with Oscar Valdez, the old Oscar Valdez, or maybe he's changed somewhat. You could put him in with Jamel Herring. He will not be in a bad fight.
I mean, and when you look at the 130-pound weight class, you've got the aforementioned Jamel Herring, who's a champion. Tevin Farmer was in the house here tonight because he's a stablemate of Jason Sosa, so just the revenge factor would be a great storyline. But what about Gervonta Davis? If we can make a mega fight in this weight class today, not involving Lomachenko, it would be Gervonta Davis against Berchelt.
Man, don't even mention Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is fighting against Uber drivers, cab drivers, you name it. He ain't fighting anybody. I don't know where they find. Where the heck did they find the boy he's supposed to be fighting now?
I don't think that's
Seriously, how is that not fair? How is that fair? How is that fair?
I think
he's
the guy's
not
an
fighting
extraordinary
anybody.
talent. I'd like to see him fight more.
Oh no, Gervonta Davis, you have a lot of talent. I'm not gonna lie to you. You do have a lot of talent, but you're not fighting anybody, buddy. Not fighting anybody at all. And I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Uber drivers.
Man, trying to tell you.
That's how you feel?
Yeah. Did you hear who he signed to fight?
I did. Gamboa.
Huh?
All right.
Gamboa has been under a rock. You didn't know that?
I feel you.
There you go.
All right. So Mark Kriegel, Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley. We all enjoyed Miguel Berchelt's destruction of Jason Sosa. We can't see what Can't wait to see what his next step is. Hopefully, in the near future, it'll involve Jamel Herring or Oscar Valdez or Vasily Lomachenko. The fights are there to be made. We're more than happy to watch him do it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.